2 years ago, Gage Nim Nim set out on this sealed-only journey, where he basically bought 3 Servant of Endymion structure decks, and kind of every week using a budget of $40, he basically bought packs and other sealed product and basically just used those to upgrade his deck and kind of build it up from there. So I decided to try to start my own version of that. Basically, we're going to be doing this every month, not every week like some YouTubers, but we will, because we are doing this every month, our budget will be $60. And the deck we'll be going with Raidraptors. Welcome to virtual sealed only Raidraptors.
We are riders on a mission, action, kids in fun condition, prepare to count down rocket power.
What's up guys, Forecasmodon here. Welcome back to virtual sealed only Raidraptors, episode 9. Now I told you last time that we did have something spicy planned for this week, and I did not lie. This week we are adding the Rokket Revolt structure deck to our polls. Now there's some good stuff in here. The main thing that I really wanted was like some kind of extenders that I could use off of the Time Thief package. Stuff that's just not required for the normal summon and doesn't need like an empty board to use, which actually fits with some of these Rokket cards. So let's go over the cards from the Rokket Revolt structure deck that we will actually be using, because there's a lot of stuff in here, but only a couple cards that we'll actually be putting into our deck. So of course we have the Rokket Tracer. This is a very good card. It's not the greatest thing right now because we don't have access to Striker Dragon. Fingers crossed, maybe we'll get it this week. That is what we're planning on opening as well. So if we get it, awesome. If not, then it's just something to summon off of the quick launch. The other Rokket that we will be using for our deck is the Rokket Recharger. It doesn't really do much other than it's, the fact that we can summon it off of Tracer or quick launch. It does have an effect that might come up. It's not a bad effect, which is why we're playing it over some of the other Rockets that are in here that we could be playing instead. So of course let's get to the spell that we'll be using, that we're getting this for, which is Quick Launch. Quick Launch is a really good card. It's just a free level 4 body by summoning Tracer or Recharger, and if we're late in our combo, we could even use the Tracer to pop something to get a Recharger. It's just like an extra extender, an extra body on the field. We'll see if it can come up. It does Dark Lock you, so we do have to do it after we go into Cyber Dragon Infinity. But who knows, we might be able to pull it off, we'll see. So yeah, that's the Quick Launch, that's what we're going in here for. Another card that we might be putting in, depending on how we are with our pulls, is Boot Sector Launch. Boot Sector Launch is a very good card, but again, we do need the Striker Dragon to make it work. When we do get that, then we are able to turn basically Quick Launch or Rokket Tracer in general into like 2 bodies instead of just 1. You summon the Striker Dragon, go into Boot Sector, get the Tracer back, summon the Tracer and pop, and then get a free body. It's just a really good combo. It's really hard to get though, so we'll see if we can actually pull it off. There are some other good cards in here. Imperial Order, of course, super strong card. It should definitely be banned. Red Reboot is surprisingly strong. That's in here as well. We might put it in, we'll see. It's just like another hand trap we can use. And Twin Twister is pretty good as well. We probably won't use it because we're not doing side decks at this point. Maybe in the future we will, but yeah. So it is good to have the Twin Twisters. Nothing else in here really matters. So we're mainly in here for the Quick Launch and then these 2 Rockets. And then we'll see what happens with our pulls. Maybe we'll put in a Boot Sector Launch as well to kind of extend our combos. That's it for the Rokket Revolt structure deck. We have some more packs to open though, since we do have some budget left this week. Let's get into that. Alright guys, so we're not just here for the structure deck, we also have a little bit left over in our budget for this episode. We have just enough for a 2020 Mega Tin, so that's 3 packs of the 2020 Tin of Lost Memories Mega Packs. In here is Striker Dragon, as well as potentially Borreload Savage Dragon, but we're mainly here for the Striker Dragon. And the other packs we'll be opening is 3 packs of Burst of Destiny. As of the recording of this episode, this is the most recent set that we have, at least most recent main set that we have here in the TCG. And there is one card in particular that I am looking for out of that, which is the Rokket Caliber Dragon, or Caliber Rocket Dragon, one of the two. Its name is something like that. It's a very good card. It's basically just a little bit better than Rokket Recharger, just because it can special summon itself. It's an extender in and of itself if you do draw into it. So I would like to get that to kind of boost our Rokket package, maybe make it a little bit less bricky. But let's get started. So first we have this 2020 Megatin pack. Let's see if we can get the Striker. Okay, nothing so far. We can get a third regulator out of these, so I would appreciate that as well. But yeah, first pack, not doing so good. Alright, let's go to the third Mega Pack. And Crackdown is an okay card. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. So our third and final pack. Let's see if we can get that Striker Dragon or Borreload Savage. Oof. Looks like we just missed out. We got a Rokket Synchron, which is in the structure deck as well, unfortunately. Alright, so no Striker Dragon this week. Let's see if we can get to our Caliber Dragon with the Burst of Destiny. Oh shit. Well, there it is, right off the bat. That's super cool. Rokket Caliber Dragon. Nice. Maybe we can get DPE. Ultra B-Trooper Absolute Hercules. I like B-Troopers a lot, but this is not a good card. Alright, and our third and final pack for this week. Let's end on a high note. Let's end on a DPE. We did not. It was a Flunderies and Robina. So I actually was kind of looking into the Flunderies cards, maybe to see if we can make them work. They are winged beasts, but no, they don't really work with a whole lot else. They kind of restrict you to just tribute summoning or normal summoning only. They mean you can't. They make it so you can't special summon. So they don't really work well with what we want to do. Unfortunately, our Mega Packs did not go well. However, the first pack of Burst of Destiny, we got the Rokket Caliber Dragon, which is awesome. Or not Caliber Dragon, it's just Rokket Caliber. Great card. I'm excited to put it to good use. And let's get to the deck building. I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, welcome to the deck. And you can see all the changes that we have made for this episode. Of course, we have the 2 Rokket Tracer. I don't want to play any more than this because you don't really want to open it. At least until we have Striker Dragon. It's not really a good card to open. We also got our Rokket Caliber Dragon from Burst of Destiny, which was amazing. I'm using it over the Recharger. It is a tuner, so if we do get a Borreload Savage Dragon, we have to swap back to the Recharger. But we don't have a Savage Dragon, so right now I'm going to go with the Rokket Caliber. Since Rokket Caliber is less of a brick in the hand, it's not really a brick in the hand, right? It's a pretty much an extender. You can summon it to a link to when you summon a dark link monster, so it's really good. Just an extra body and all that stuff. Of course, we have the 3 quick launch to round out the main deck changes. We do have a boot sector launch, but until we get Striker Dragon, it's not really worth playing. It's kind of just a dead card until then, like just a straight up brick. So we're not going to be using that just yet. For our extra deck, I did add back in the Satellite Cannon Falcon, because we are playing with rank up Magic Force, which means that we can potentially go into Satellite Cannon Falcon to pop any big back row. If our opponent sets 4, sets 5 and passes, we can go into Satellite Cannon Falcon and kind of just blow them out. So looking forward to maybe seeing if we can get into that. But it has returned to the extra deck for the first time in a couple of weeks. As for the side deck, we're not really doing side decks or matches just yet. But just to kind of see what I had, I just scrounged up some good side cards. Denko Saka, which we pulled early, I think the second episode. The Farajit, which we got recently. That's more so in there because if we're playing a deck that has like Maximus, or something that just likes to send your extra deck cards to the graveyard, you can just send Farajit and you get a draw. Dark Hole just to kind of fill a slot. It's a board wipe, I guess. Forbidden Chalice, of course, is pretty good. Twin Twisters, just back row removal. Deck Lockdown, it's not great, but it is it's a floodgate that we do have. We don't have a whole lot of other ones. Dynamiscus is just a good card. Crackdown, which we got this week from the Mega Tins. Imperial Order, which is pretty nice. Very good card. Another claw. We do have the second one. I'm not sure if we have three. I'll have to double check. I don't think I would play more than one anyway, but just put this one in here because there's not much else. And then of course we got the red reboot. So as I said, we're not really going to any side deck shenanigans for this week, but I just wanted to consolidate what we did have to kind of see where we were at in terms of that. And that's pretty much it for the deck changes. Let's get into the matches because I think we got some pretty good ones lined up. I'll see you there. Alright guys, welcome to game 1. And as you can see, we do have the normal regulator combo. Unfortunately, we don't have any other extenders in hand, so we can't end with both the Requiem and the Redoer. So we do have to choose, and I think this game I'm going to go with the Requiem. Just so you know, I think it is the better play right now. So we're going to do that, go into our normal combo, of course, second 4 Strix, set the Soul Shave Force, going to get the Cyber Dragon Infinity, Strangulanius, we'll summon back, then we'll link into the Bardiche, get the Fog Blade, and then we'll go all that stuff, do the Bardiche. To set the Fog Blade, since we're not going to Redoer, we don't need the Trap Monster for Redoer's material, so we're not going to do the Shade Brigandine. Instead, we're just going to set the Fog Blade as an extra negate, then banish Mimicry for the Claw. Then we're going to go to the Requiem, set the Claw, and yeah, this is our board right now. We have the Phantom Knight's Fog Blade, the Claw, the Requiem, and the Cyber Dragon Infinity. Not too bad of a board, so pretty happy about that. And our opponent just Chimera attacks, using our own Cyber Dragon Infinity, which his name is treated as Cyber Dragon on the field, to link off into the, or not link off, rather, contact fuse into Chimera Tech. You know, if I had a nickel for every time we've been Chimera Teched this series, I'd have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, it's just weird that it's happened twice. So yeah, he Harpy Feather Dusters the rest of our back row. We will bring back the Bardiche with the Fog Blade, but then he'll just kill that with a Mega Fleet. And then flip 2 cards. Royal Prison, which makes it so that neither of us can special summon from the graveyard, and then Imperial Iron Wall, so that no one can banish cards. Which is totally fine. Neither of these actually do anything against us. So yeah, these are basically just going to sit here, not really prevent us from doing anything. They will prevent Mimicry from activating, because we can't banish it, but it's really not the end of the world. So we're just going to get the Redoer, go into the Retrograde, and kind of just sit on that. He will activate Lava Golem and just start burning me. So I'll get burned for 1,000. I'll go into the Goblinberg. We're going to get Rokket Tracer. And I'm going to use Rokket Tracer to actually pop the Lava Golem so that we're not going to take any burn damage, and also we can get a monster on the field for additional material. So we're going to do just that. We're going to attack and all that stuff, and then we're going to go into the Redoer. Alright, we're going to Redoer, steal his stuff. Again, we do have the Retrograde, thankfully. He's just going to pass. We're going to try to attack. And he does have a Swift Iron Scarecrow. He does try to activate Mystic Mine here, but luckily we do have the Retrograde, which means we're just going to steal it, and he is going to just scoop from there. So yeah, that's game 1 against an interesting Mystic Mine burn deck. Luckily we had the cards that we needed to get past it, because I can't imagine how fun that would have been if he was able to activate Mystic Mine before we had Retrograde live. Thankfully he didn't, so we were able to get past him. Yeah, that's pretty much it for game 1. Oh, I did like how we were able to use Tracer to pop the Lava Golem to kind of prevent us from losing the game and getting us an extra material. That was kind of fun too. So yeah, that was a pretty good game 1. Let's see what game 2 and 3 have in store. See you guys there. Alright guys, welcome to game 2. And as you can see, we actually have a pretty decent hand. We have a lot of the extenders, a lot of the things that we need to kind of go into our full combo. So let's see just how far we can go. So we're going to normal summon the Winder, use the effect, and of course get Kage Tokage to the 4 Strix. We'll use the 4 Strix effect, but you'll end up getting Infinite Impermanence, which is unfortunate. Fortunately though, we do have extenders in hand, so we can keep going. We can't quite go to our full board, but we still can do quite a bit. So we're going to do the Winder in hand, and then we're going to quick launch into the Tracer. We're going to go into the second 4 Strix, since the first one was negated. Now we can actually make the Y Strix. We're going to get the Mimicry Lanius. We're going to get the Soul Shave Force, so we still can get into Cyber Dragon Infinity because we did have the Soul Shave Force in hand. Then we'll get the Strangulanius that we searched off of the second 4 Strix. Link that off into the Rusty Bardiche. And then using the Shade Brigandine, we're going to go into the Redoer. And with Redoer, we have the Retrograde and the Fog Blade as well. So we have quite a bit here to work with. We do have the Cyber Dragon Infinity, the Retrograde, the Fog Blade, and the Redoer with a trap as material, so we can just spin anything back and see what our opponent can do. So we're going to Redoer, get some stuff. Looks like we're against Virtual World, and he will immediately use Forbidden Chalice on our Cyber Dragon Infinity, so that's one negate down. I didn't want to quite use the negate on Retrograde, because either way it's one interaction down. So he's going to go into a thing. I don't want him to get materials for stuff, so I'm just going to immediately spin that back. He does have another extender in hand though, so he is able to keep going. He will Chuche, go into the Sigma, and then just attack over my Cyber Dragon Infinity. And he doesn't have a whole lot of cards, so I don't want this Chuche to resolve, so I will Retrograde that, get the trap monster, get the trap under Redoer as well. We're going to banish the Silent Boots to get the Phantom Knight's Claw, because I figured maybe one of the ways we can get over this is if he does activate a monster effect, we can negate with Phantom Knight's Claw, and then we can boost the attack of our Redoer, so we can get over the Sigma. But we do need stuff. So yeah, we do need to get to Requiem Dragon, because Requiem can actually crash with Final Sigma. So I'm just gonna kind of set cards, see when he attacks over, and if he doesn't attack over this, then we can normal summon something and go into the Requiem Xyz Dragon. So we're just gonna Redoer, we're gonna normal summon, and then we're just gonna go right into the Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, and we're just gonna crash with the Sigma. So we have the Redoer, we got the Regulator, which is nice, and then we do have the Claw and the Fog Blade as well. So we do have a couple of things to do, and our opponent is only on 2 cards. So we're just going to steal some stuff. He will activate that. He will activate Juju from hand. We're going to negate that with the Phantom Knight's Claw. And then we're just going to Redoer. We're going to spin his card back. We're going to Reborn the Requiem Dragon and attack for game. So yeah, pretty impressed with how this game went actually. Virtual World, while it may not be the strongest deck right now, it is still up there, a tiered meta deck, and we did have to fight through a hand trap when we went first. So I'm actually really proud of how we did this game. We were able to stand toe-to-toe with another meta deck through Interruption, which is awesome. So yeah, that's it for game 2. Let's get into the third and final game. Alright guys, welcome to the third and final game. As you can see here, we have a little bit of a weird hand. We can't go into our normal 4 Strix combo first. We do have to go into a Y Strix, so it's a little bit of a different line of play, but I think we can make it work, since we do have a lot of extenders in our hand anyway. So we're going to go into the Vanishing Lanius, summon the Heal Eagle. We're going to the Y Strix, of course, we're going to the Mimicry Lanius, and then because we have the Rokket Caliber in hand, we can actually summon that, it's not a brick. Go into the 4 Strix at last, get the Strangulanius, then of course we're going to get the Soul Shave Force. We're going to the Winder, get the Retrograde, then we're going to link off to the Rusty Bardiche, we're going to get the Cyber Dragon Infinity, we're going to go to Strangulanius. Strangulanius will get a monster back, we'll get the Shade Brigadine, we'll get that, we'll get the Rank Up Magic Force, and we just have access to everything right now. So we go to the Redoer with the trap as material, we'll go into the Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, set a Retrograde, and set a Phantom Knight's Claw, as well as the Redoer and the Cyber Dragon Infinity. This is pretty much as good as it gets. You could argue that maybe we could get a Fog Blade, depending on if we had drawn one of these additional cards, like if this was a Fog Blade or something. But I'm really not going to complain about this board. That's 3 negates on that. 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 7 ways to interrupt our opponent. That's absolutely insane. So let's see if our opponent can break it. So we're just going to Redoer, and it looks like they are on... We don't really know, since that's actually Harpy's Feather Duster off the top. He's going to Dark Ruler no more, which luckily we do have the Time Thief Retrograde, which is going to negate that and put it right under Redoer. So he still has all these other cards to contend with, and he's not gonna. Turns out all these negates and all these interactions are way too good for our opponent. He's just going to immediately scoop, which is kind of awesome. Such an overwhelming victory after those 2 hard-fought games, game 1 and 2. So it's good that game 3 was kind of a stomp. It's a good one to end on, actually. And overall, I'm actually really proud of how we did this week. Our pulls really came through. I think we used every single new card that we got. Tracer, popping the Lava Golem to prevent us from getting burned. The Rokket Caliber coming out there to, kind of extend our plays when we had that weird hand with the Y Strix first, before we had 4 Strix. And yeah, game 2, of course, we had the the launch to kind of go into all the Rokket stuff and S extenders and all that. So yeah, really just proud with how the deck is going right now. I think our main deck is pretty good. There's still some cards I really wish we had from Phantom Rage, so we'll probably go to that next, as much as it pains me to say that, you know, for the third time, hopefully the final time. But yeah, really happy with how this one turned out. So that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.